Hello and welcome back to the Timely Focus. Today I would like to show you guys the Tissot Carson Premium Automatic, which in my opinion may be one of the best starter automatic women's watches made in Switzerland. That's my opinion. I think it's a pretty good one. Why? Why is it one of the best? Because you get an automatic movement, 50 meters of water resistance, and you've got a very high quality build, similar to the Tissot Gentleman, which I'm wearing right now, super sweet watch. And I think it's just a really nice, distinguished looking, classy watch that can go with a ton of different outfits, a bunch of different settings. You can wear it casually or you can dress it up, and it looks great in pretty much every circumstance I can think of. Maybe not exercising. If you're like trying to work out in the gym or something, it might be a little not exactly what it is made for. Okay, other features I really like about it, it's got sapphire crystals on both sides, so you do have a display case. Inside you can see the ETA 2671, which is basically the women's version or smaller version of the 2824 from ETA. This movement is ridiculously popular in a ton of different watches. You can find it from anything from, of course, Hamilton's and Tissot's, Certina's, even Zinn's, which is kind of funny because that is actually a German brand, right? So they're putting a Swiss movement inside, kind of interesting. And I think that's kind of impressive. It speaks to the quality of this movement. It is very well proven. I mean, it came out in the 70s, I believe. The original version just had kind of a bushing for the rotor to spin around on, and the newer version, which I think was modified in the late 70s, updated to have bearings, of course, on the rotor for longevity, added a couple more jewels as pivot points, of course, for extra longevity and durability. Anyway, the point is, it is a very well proven and known, easy, that's another point, because it is as ubiquitous almost as the ETA 2824-2. It is very easily serviced by pretty much any watchmaker. They're going to be familiar with that movement because it's so popular. Moving on to the dial of this watch, which maybe is the most important factor for a watch. So the dial is one of the main reasons that my grandma really likes this watch, and one of the reasons why she was drawn to it when I showed it to her originally. It is simple but clean and elegant. It's got Romans on there that are painted, and a fairly thick application of paint, which adds a little bit of three-dimensionality to the face of the watch. You've also got kind of a grooved center section on the face of the dial, and a sunray finish on the exterior into which the painted Roman numerals are laid. And it's just all works together super nicely. You've got the date down at 6, and it is framed as well, which looks really good. I always like a framed date window. Maybe it's a preference thing. I like framed date windows, so it's another plus for this watch. And to consider that you're getting all of this at a fairly low price of around $600, $650, it's pretty good. Now, the hands of this particular model of the Carson Premium Automatic, I think are really nice, and that was one of the factors that also influenced my grandma and I to choose this watch for her. That they're blue, and they contrast really nicely with the silver-white face of the watch. They are, I believe, painted. They could be heat-treated, if so, huge plus. Either way, the paint job, I'm assuming they're painted, and the quality is, I would say, very good. Super smooth, even application of the paint of the blue. Pretty deep color that is also, in some lights, slightly iridescent, which looks really nice. The bracelet also, I think, looks super nice. Highly polished, but also has enough links in it that it also works to hide the scratches to a degree. Whenever you add links, it usually helps to hide scratches. Of course, comes with some half links. It would be nice if there was a micro adjust, but considering this is a sub-$1,000 watch, not going to knock it for that. Usually you're not getting micro adjusts until like maybe $5,000, 6 or more. Coming in at 30 millimeters in diameter, this is a great size for women of pretty much any wrist size. And I think just looks really clean, really classy, but large enough to be very legible. My grandma, I gave it to her as her 77th birthday present, and she can read it very well, very clearly. She's got decent eyes, and you can even see the date. I will say that the date for most people, besides young people, or that have very, very good vision, is not exactly legible at a glance. You have to look and focus for a second. It is just a little bit on the smaller side, so something to consider. If you've got really bad vision, probably you're not going to be able to see the date, and that's just an aspect of a smaller watch. This movement possesses a 38-hour power reserve. However, I will say that it is more difficult with smaller movements to maintain a full charge on that mainspring. This is because just related physics of how a smaller movement has to operate. A large watch with a large rotor can have a lower gear ratio, essentially. So one rotation of the rotor will wind the movement much more than one rotation of the rotor on a much smaller movement. This is just, again, characteristics of these movements, things got to be aware of. So overall, I think the Tissot Carson Premium Automatic offers an amazing value, great features, looks fantastic, and yeah, like I said, it's probably one of the best, if not the best, buys. I feel like the value is pretty close to unbeatable there. So I hope y'all have enjoyed learning about this watch, seeing it, and I'll catch you in the next video. In the meantime, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you would like to see different or hear about in the future. So, thanks for watching. See you next time.